Dashefsky, and joining me today is one of my students from Kahala Jiu-Jitsu in Honolulu, Hawaii, Zaid. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
And what are we going to show him today?
Trap and roll.
Trap and roll. Now this is a really good move because we use it a lot in Jiu-Jitsu, but it's also a very important move to know in self-defense. So there's two aspects of Jiu-Jitsu, right? There's the sport aspect and there's the self-defense aspect. So I kind of describe the sport aspect as self-defense on steroids. So it's all Jiu-Jitsu, it's all the same stuff, it's just intensities and stuff, but trap and roll is used for both, so it's really important. So we'll start with you mounting. So we'll go from the side here. So it's really important because usually when someone attacks you, they're going to be bigger and stronger, right? So we want to be able to have the leverage, because in Jiu-Jitsu, timing and leverage timing and leverage is really important aside from knowing the technique. So a lot of times, anytime someone goes in for a choke, so if it's a Jiu-Jitsu match and that hand comes up to going for a collar choke, right there is my trap and roll. Anytime they go for choke. Now this is what's important. I want this hand to go on the hand that's on the same side. That's the hand that's going to grab the wrist. This is the hand. The opposite hand is what's going to cup the elbow, and then I'm going to drop my elbows. Now you see how I lowered his shoulder? A lot of people just hold here and they try to trap and roll, but I want to lower his shoulder. But it's really important to understand that this is important because it's better than this. I'm going to show you why. If I grab like this, his elbow bends this way. So if he pulls out, I've just lost his arm, right? So I want to trap him and keep him to me. So I'm going to use this hand. I'm going to go on the other side and cup his elbow so I can prevent it from bending. And then if I leave my elbows up, it's kind of, it's harder, but he can still pull his arm out. Yeah, so he'll pull. What I need to do in order to lock that arm down is I need to drop his elbow to my chest and drop my elbows down. Now, when he tries to pull his arm out, it's really hard. I want to glue him to me. I don't want him to go anywhere. It also lowers his shoulder, gets him ready to roll. So I want to, again, one more time, start to the beginning. He comes in, he goes to grab my neck. I'm going to immediately grab, and then elbows down. Okay, now I've trapped his arm. Now I'm going to trap his foot because I don't want him to post out. If I try to bump him, he puts his foot out there, now he prevented me from trapping. So I have to stop that foot. I want to trap that foot, trap that hand. I want to use this as my pusher foot. I'm going to look up. Wherever I look, that's where the target is, that's where he's going to go. It's a brain thing. My neurology is, if I'm looking that way, my body's going to go that way. So I'm going to look up at 1 o'clock. I'm going to use this foot, and I'm going to push up and over, and I'm going to turn it over, and now I can pull out, and then now I'm fighting from the guard. Now I'm going to show you why. I'm going to have to come sit on this side so I can show them the reason why 1 o'clock is so important when we're doing physics, okay? So if you think about me mounting someone, if you push me, if I go kind of bump to 12 o'clock, or I'm on the bottom and I bump you to 12 o'clock, watch what happens. My knees go up, but they're posted. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to come right back down, right? Because I'm at a nice solid post. If you push me to 3 o'clock, this whole side of my leg is acting like a post. So it's going to be hard if I drive it into the mat to push me that way. But when you go to 1 o'clock, watch what happens to my body. When you start pushing me that way, this is what happens. And you got my hand. So I'm up on one knee. Again, so watch this. When you trap my arm, and you pull me this way towards 1 o'clock, this knee comes off the ground, and now I'm balancing on one knee, and I'm gonna go. So no matter how big a person is and how strong, it's not about strength or weight, it's physics. They literally cannot hold you down. So again, if you go this way, mount. So I'm kind of go this way a little bit so I can show you mounting that way. So he goes to go for the choke. I'm going to trap, lower that shoulder, and trap his foot. Now I'm going to use this foot. I'm going to look up. I'm not going to just look there and try to, because then I'll bump there. I want to look up to the side, and I'm going to bump, and his knees off the ground. And now I'm here. If it's a self-defense situation, I say, boom, the leg's open, you get out of there, and you get out of there. So again, depending if it's a self-defense or if it's jiu-jitsu, we're just passing guard, right? So that is our trap and roll. So you notice how when I brought you up, you had no control. No matter how big and strong you are, you're up on one knee and your hand's out of the way. All you want to do is kind of fall over. So you're just losing your balance and your weight is just falling over.
Yeah, it's very smooth. The transition was smooth, and the lock was actually strong in that battle.
Yeah, once you drop this, I say it's like a suitcase or a briefcase. When you put the little things down, it's not quite locked until you hear the click. right? And that's the elbows, click. When our elbows are up, we're not as strong. But once my elbows go down, everything comes in, I'm very tight and it's hard for you to get out of that. So little details, right? Devil is in the details. And thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.